I am married. I have been married for the 7 year itch in May, and I have one child who is 3.5 years old.
Perfect. Can you say it one more time just a little differently? I'm just giving options to the editor.
Sure.
I'm not doing anything wrong.
Okay.
So your relationship lasted for how long?
I have been married for 7 years. I have a 3.5 year old daughter, and we're just about to have our anniversary in May.
Perfect. You've done this before many times. Can you describe Deb?
Deb is the craziest person that I know. She's probably slightly mentally imbalanced, but I think that she lives in Los Angeles, so she has to be. She would give anyone the shirt off of their back, probably literally, because I think she likes to be topless. And she's one of the best friends that I will ever have in my life.
It's hard not to laugh, so I want to interrupt your talking. Can you describe her in another way as well?
Sure. Deb is the blondest person I have ever met, with every weird thing that you've ever heard about blonde people being attributed to pretty much everything about Deb's personality. She's a lunatic, but a good one.
Love it, love it. Sorry, I woke up like I don't know, a half hour ago.
I've been awake for 5 hours, my man.
My voice is catching up here. In 3 words, can you describe Deb?
Blonde, boobs, smart.
Awesome. And do you typically like the type of guys that Deb dates?
I have yet to like a single person that she has ever dated.
Wow. Love it. And why don't you like them? Are they below her, not right for her? Like, why typically are they not, like, right for her?
Deb has a tendency to want to fix people. So she generally will find somebody to date who needs either drug or bail money, or who maybe be questioning their sexuality a little bit and taking a dip into the female pool, or who like the fact that Deb drives a really nice car and lives on the beach. So she tends to date people who need her for something much less than she needs them.
Oh. And, this is going to be a no, sure. I want to hear your answer. Are the type of guys Deb date husband material?
For like appearances on things like Jerry Springer, or Divorce Court, perhaps, but not somebody that she would actually want to be married to and have to look at for the rest of her life. No.
Perfect. Can you say it in a form of, like a statement?
Oh, sorry, yes. You did tell me that. Deb's boyfriends aren't really marriage material, unless she wants to end up on Divorce Court or Jerry Springer. She typically doesn't find somebody that she would want to look at for the rest of her life, or at least that we would want to look at for the rest of our lives, so no.
Perfect. Have you ever gotten into a fight with any of Deb's men?
One, two... I've gotten into fights, I think, with 3 of them. I think with 3 of Debbie's boyfriends I've fought with. One pretty severely that ended up in a lot of screaming and phone hanging ups, and this was back when everybody had beepers, so he would beep her with 911 to call her back, generally for bail money. So yeah, there's been some pretty nasty verbal altercations.
What do you see to these guys? Or like, what?
The worst fight that I ever got into with one of Debbie's boyfriends was a guy that she was dating because he needed bail money often. He went AWOL from the military, and he called her he beeped her when she was at my house. And I was so mad at, what was going on with her situation that I started screaming at him that he most likely had, pulled his house over to call her and did his house run out of gas, and it was a bad scene. And he yelled back, and I hung up on him. It was ugly.
Now, does Deb know about these?
Oh, she was right there. Yeah, Debbie was right there when I fought with him.
Okay. Did you ever, like, bite your tongue about, like, being with that date, or you tell her, like, right away, or?
Oh yeah, I don't bite my tongue with Deb at all. Deb can take it. Deb's a big girl, so she generally, I think, vets most of her boyfriends through me. She dated one guy kind of recently that she actually put on the phone with me so that I could tell her whether or not that this was a good guy for her. So, yeah, I said no. So they're not dating anymore.
Perfect. So do you have, like, the final say? Does Deb listen to what you have to say, or does she typically, like, after you tell her what you think, does she keep dating, or does she break up usually, or?
I think after the scenario with the first boyfriend, I got into a fight with that guy a lot. And I think after she realized eventually that I was right, she didn't kind of get it to begin with. But after she realized eventually that I was right, she kind of, I think, takes my advice. I'm probably the most critical of her friends, I would assume. So she takes my advice. That last guy that I talked to, I want to say they were apart within 2 weeks.
Okay. Can you say that, like, in a short,
Sure.
like, typed up version, like Deb equals whatever?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that Deb takes my advice a little bit more than maybe other people's. I'm one of the more hypercritical people she knows. So I think that she comes to me with this because she knows I'm going to tell her, you know, my opinion without mincing words to begin with at all.
Okay, perfect. And, have you ever hooked Deb up with dates yourself?
Yes, once. I did once.
Can you rephrase that?
Yes, I can, sorry. I hooked Deb up.
It's the hardest thing to do, is that.
It's the anti-Jeopardy. So yeah, I hooked up Deb with a guy once, but not for any intention of a serious relationship, I guess, because, you know, she lives in California and this guy lives in New Jersey. So it wasn't meant to be like, hey, this is going to be your boyfriend. It was meant to be, hey, you're coming home for the holidays and you need a date to your family Christmas party, and, you know, he's a nice looking guy, so you might as well take him. So they, I guess, dated when she was home every once in a while for a couple years, but it was never meant to be serious, nor was it.
Okay. When Deb lived there, did you hook her up with dates, or
So,
like in college or any of that kind of stuff?
no, Deb in college had a boyfriend almost immediately from, the first day of school. A guy that lived on her floor, and they dated on and off for maybe 2 years, I think, year and a half. And then after that ended, she immediately started dating. The guy that I got into a fight with, we all refer to him as Trash Can Man. So she started dating him, and that went on for 3 years. I think they had dated in high school. Assuming that he indeed attended high school, which I doubt and find hard to believe. But then after that point, Deb and I have never lived in the same state.
Well, the Trash Can guy said you don't think he attended high school.
Yeah, she says he went to her high school and that he was a football player, but I don't think he can read, so I don't know.
Can you rephrase that statement, like, this
Yeah.
guy we call the Trash Can Man, but
Yeah, so
whatever, just make it like one quick type set.
yeah, so Deb dated the guy that we refer to as Trash Can Man, apparently, in high school, if he indeed ever attended high school or has a GED or can read at 5th grade level.
Cool. Do you have any other, like, past boyfriend stories? And I'm curious myself, why was he called Trash Can Man?
Deb told me that I'm not allowed to use the word that got him can I say it and you can edit it out?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we used to, in college, sadly and meanly, slightly, I guess it would be bullying Debbie, and jokingly refer to her as the last American virgin when we were seniors in college. And she had